Good morning, good evening, and good night. Welcome to another episode of a Good Wrestling Podcast. I am your host, Jamal Good. This is season 2, episode 15. Yes, episode 15. Welcome, y'all. I got a message on my screen that I can't get off. There we go, got it. I am joined today.
I don't need no introductions. Codename Bobby. Welcome, people.
This guy.
Raw wasn't bad, but I have to say, Brock Lesnar made the show even better. Go ahead, brother.
Well, let's go ahead and start the week off talking about Monday Night Raw. Oh, there we go. Brock Lesnar threatened one Roman Reigns and also destroyed the Alpha Academy. Is Lesnar? I don't know.
It's good for him to. They're trying to sell. Listen, I get it. They're trying to sell SummerSlam, but they didn't have to sacrifice the Alpha Academy. But I get why they did it. But I was holding my breath to make sure they didn't have another injury because Brock can wrestle really sloppy. Aggressive is not the word. He destroyed Otis. But it was a good segment. I can't take it. It showed it was the reason why he did it, and that's why I'm all for it. To show his dominance.
I like Brock when he is not the champion.
Mm-hmm.
I do. When he's the champion, I hate him because he's never on the show. And to me, a champion needs to be on the show all the time. But I digress.
I can't remember the 80s/90s. So for me, I don't expect to see the champion all the time. But for Brock, if I see him every week, it'll get old. So when he comes out and make that splash, I got it. I like it. Do your thing. You're on a hunt. You're talking about killing pigs. I'm all for it.
What else happened?
And what you thinking about the whole situation with Riddle and Theory? I'm not going off your list. Fuck your notes. I like what they're doing. They're trying to put him into some type of something for him to get up there, but Riddle needs something else to do. So putting them two together is a good idea.
You're talking about the Riddle Bobby Lashley versus Seth Rollins and Austin Theory match.
Yes.
My personal opinions, again. Hold on. What is he talking about? I don't like the forced on me. Make me believe that this guy has talent. Make me believe that this guy can be the next person up. Don't force on me. I mean, you putting Austin Theory in all these matches where, again, just forcing him out there. Oh, he's Vince's man. He's the next man up. He's gonna be a champion. Wow, let that shit come out of nowhere. You know what I mean? Like an RKO.
If my back broke. I broke my back.
Well, I mean, it happens. It's part of the job. I mean, don't want it to happen, but it's going to happen.
But it's a double-edged sword. It's the fact that we want new stars. When they present us with a new star, to say he a new star, the fans be like, I don't want this.
But you passed up on so many.
But it's not the point of what they passed up on.
You got talent out there.
Again, if they don't do what we want them to do, doesn't mean that they're not doing what is best for business.
But imagine if they did what Paul wanted them to do, how much time they would have had.
Again, you can't look at it as a skeptic. You have to look at it as a fan. Fans don't know what's going on in the background. The IWC is less than 1% of the fans. For the most part, all they want to see is wrestling. That's all. And he is nothing bad about Theory other than everyone thinking that Vince McMahon is coined him to be the next guy. Every time they coin somebody to be the next guy, they turn on them. Every time. And then they complain, I want a new star. It's not that you want a new star. You want your person to be the star.
No, I don't. You got a lot of people that could be stars.
Who?
I could see the belt on what the hell's his name? The guy to be with the bloodline. Sami Zayn.
What? He can't sell tickets.
Why can't he?
Listen. If you put Sami Zayn as a serious wrestler, no one would take him seriously. They never have. They never have. He is not. I'm not saying anything about his wrestling talent. I'm just saying him as a focal point of WWE. They need us to put him on there. You have to say everyone has to be dead, flat out. Everybody got to be dead.
Okay, so let's do this. Apollo Crews.
No, too short.
What? Rey Mysterio shorter than him. I digress.
Rey Mysterio thing is he has all of Mexico behind him. And the only reason he got it is because Eddie Guerrero died. Period. And that's the thing that everyone forgets about. Apollo Crews is a good number 2. He's not a good number 1.
Finn Balor, they're about the same height.
And he has a horrible mic skills.
Him and Finn Balor about the same height.
Again, Finn Balor. Finn Balor got hurt when he got the chance.
But he can hold the belt. Could he not?
He can hold the belt for someone else.
Going through that roster is kind of deep. A lot of NXT people.
But again, if you go back to Apollo.
So you would put the belt on Mustafa?
No, I would not.
He would have had his run.
It doesn't matter if he had a run. He ran away. The middle America is not going to cheer for Ali. They're not. They're going to lose half their ratings.
So you could see the belt on Riddle.
Riddle? With proper planning around Riddle, he can do it. But for the most part, his bro is going to get annoying. I'll give you 4 weeks of TV, and that's going to get annoying.
That big ass pause, that sword, if fucking Drew McIntyre wasn't around, we got annoying and shit too.
Exactly. That's why he's not championship material.
He had the belt for a whole year.
He had the belt during COVID. One of the reasons why he had the belt because Roman Reigns got cancer.
That's what it is.
Who else you got?
It's a lot of people in NXT. There's a lot of people in NXT.
And that's one of the problems. The fact that we keep saying WWE is not like a small indie show that everyone passes the bell around. They're not like that. They have to sell tickets. They have to put butts in seats. If you give somebody a mic and they can't bring butts and seats, there's no reason to give them the belt.
But you can if you develop the talent where they can talk. Right now, this whole scripted shit where you gotta.
Everybody don't need. People need scripts. Everybody need bullet points, or everybody needs because you're gonna turn into the whole situation with Scott Steiner. They start rambling off. You were like, "What are you talking about?"
Let it happen.
Don't let it happen because it's not good TV. Good TV is structured. Bad TV is when you give anybody a mic and say, "Hey, give me 15 minutes," and you look at them and like, "What are you talking about?" Everybody go ahead.
Well, no, that's because right now they're trained to run off the script. The script. I'm sorry.
If you look at indie wrestlers, if you look at some of their promos, it's like you listen to them. It's like, what are you talking about? It's like they're playing characters from the 90s.
I got it.
Flat out. And
what
that's
is NXT?
Not a good thing, huh?
What is NXT for?
NXT is to train people to get fired to go to AEW.
Wow.
That's what NXT is for. NXT is solely created now. This 2.0 cream rise to the top. That's what Marshall Man said. Cream rise to the top. Everyone else doesn't matter.
Who you tell it to? Stop it. Shit, I'm choking on my cake. Sorry.
Yeah. Diabetes.
I had a what you call it earlier.
No.
Fucking had a snowball earlier. It was great. Egg custard.
You can't get that in Georgia.
So. I mean, no. If you get
right now, think about this right now. Think about this right now. Hold on. Think about this right now. Who, if you give them a mic, can bring people in without the brand?
AJ,
Huh?
KO, AJ, KO.
40. What's next?
You talking about Young? You talking about Young?
Yeah.
We don't know because they won't give him the opportunity.
But when they give him the opportunity, we turn on them. Austin Theory, it's nothing wrong with Austin Theory. It's nothing wrong with Austin Theory. What's the problem with Austin Theory? Nothing. Only problem with Austin Theory is that everyone thinks he's the next guy. They turned on Drew. They turned on Mr. Kennedy. They turned on everybody who was singled out to be the guy they turned on within a month.
There's a problem with Austin Theory. You skipped over so many other people that had the potential to do it.
That's not the problem with Austin Theory. That's the problem with IWC.
It's not Austin Theory's fault. I'm not saying it's Austin Theory's fault.
Right.
He got the brass ring and grabbed him. Not mad at it at all. It's the people behind the scenes that skipped over everybody else.
Everybody else like who?
I just gave a couple of names.
You gave all of them were already champion. I'm saying a non-champion that says Cesaro can't. He has horrible promo skills.
Give him a manager.
They tried it. It didn't work. They gave him Paul Heyman. They gave him Zeb. They gave him so many people in the past. People keep forgetting that they tried. They tossed him at the wall and he failed.
Put the bet on, I bet you would have worked.
It wouldn't have worked. It didn't work when he had an IC belt. It didn't work when he had a US belt.
I guarantee you.
It barely worked. When every tag team he's in, he's not the guy in the tag team. He's always the other guy. When he was Jack Swag, he wasn't the guy. When he was with the Hart Foundation, he wasn't the guy. When he was the King of Wrestling, he wasn't the guy. When he was with the Bar, he wasn't the guy. When he was with, like, if you go down the list and he was paired with somebody, he was not the guy in that tag team. He was always the guy with the swing.
You tell me.
Even now, when that beats the BCC, he's still not the guy. He's not.
He's gonna go in there and he's gonna take that ROH belt.
Listen.
From Michael Midget. What's his name?
John Gresham, the great John.
No.
The leader of the foundation, John Gresham. And I have my own spiel I'm gonna say about him.
Mr. Grace, that's his name.
Wow.
Yeah, that's his name. Mr. Grace, the ROH champion. Because he doesn't wear the pants in the house.
I mean, when he dropped, shit, if you want to follow her OnlyFans page.
Hey, no pants at all, baby. All muscle. He's gonna drop that belt to her, and then the BCC, is it BBC or BCC? Shout out to Bang Bros. He gonna have that belt, and then we're gonna see what a real champion he could be.
No, he's not gonna have a belt. He's not gonna have a belt.
Why not?
He's not gonna have a belt.
I would not.
They're not going to build ROH around Cesaro.
Why not? You got Joe, Cesaro, and your favorite wrestler, Will Yuta.
Exactly. You have a bunch. Hold on, that doesn't sound like a good match with Dark. It doesn't. It doesn't sound like a good. It doesn't sound like a good group of wrestlers. I'll give you Joe, but again, Joe is close to 50. He should not be doing it.
He is not close. Everybody's close to 50.
Exactly, and that's what the problem is. You need to see
in all organizations. Don't get twisted.
It's not about. See, you can't keep going back and forth about it. If we're talking about one thing, we're talking about one thing. The whatabouts and the they're as bad as me. That we're not talking about that. WWE problem. Hold on. WWE problem is this: every time they present people with a champion, or every time they try to give them a next new thing, people shit on it. Every time.
No.
Every time.
No. What talent do you have under 35 that's good?
Austin Theory.
Give me somebody else.
Exactly. I'll give you off the top of my head.
Name like 4 or 5 people. You can't because they don't.
They're on NXT because they can't. They're not a box office.
Rick Steiner's son, and then Soka. That's it.
Soka has nothing. Soka is not going to be a main eventer.
Okay.
Soka is going to be the. He's going to be the. What's it called? He's going to be the Spike. He's going to be the Spike Dudley to the Bloodline. That's what's going to be.
Is he Samoan?
Yes, he's Samoan. Every Samoan is not.
That's all you got to say. Name one that didn't. besides Tamina. And she just had the tag team championship. Name one of them.
Listen.
Okay. I'll wait.
Umaga.
Can't do it.
Umaga, Rosie.
He had the tag team champion and the Continental champion. Go ahead. Keep on.
You said a main eventer.
Okay. They had
until Cancer takes Roman Reigns.
Jesus Christ.
He is going to be the guy.
That one left. No, because his cousin's gonna come back and they're gonna fight next year.
If you look at the roster, and now you got me pulling the roster, WWE roster, of who could have been the person in there. And the problem is that fact that every time they put it on somebody, they don't want it. You know, the fans are not going to take it. Hell, if they put the belt on,
at this point, who cares what the fan thinks? Because they forced Roman on us, and now everybody likes Roman. Right?
Everybody likes Roman because of his cancer.
No.
You got Walter. I ain't calling him by another name.
That heel turn. Wait, hold on. That heel turn got everybody liking Roman.
Yeah.
That's what happened. When he came back as a heel, that's when everybody loved Roman. Nobody liked him when he was a face. Period. Unless he was with the Shield.
No, he wasn't even the guy in the Shield. Seth Rollins was the guy in the Shield.
Again,
let's be real. Let's hold. Let's put it. We know the next champion is going to be Cody.
Yeah.
If Cody didn't get injured, Cody's going to be the next champion.
They're going to be there.
You know what I mean? It's like you need somebody that's going to carry the company on their back, and it's not too many people who can do it. It's not. You have to live the gimmick 24/7.
What's up? You the same guy that said Cody sucks and couldn't be a champion, a heavyweight champion, a world champion. Sorry.
I never said that.
Hey, producer, run the tape back. Oh, that's me. Right.
I'll say it like this. I was never a fan of main event Cody Rhodes until he went out there and did it and proved that he could do it.
Oh, okay. So what it took for him was to leave the WWE, do a world tour, win all the championships for you to actually believe in Cody?
Yeah.
Choose your words wisely. You say yes? Okay.
Hold on.
No.
I knew you were going with someone with this, but because he did it, don't mean him. Okay, it's a different thing.
That's the formula.
That's not the formula. The formula.
Do a world tour.
Go out.
Win every championship belt.
Get the NWA belt. Become the guy, and then come back and become R-Truth.
Wow.
Because he didn't get real big money until he became a comedy act.
I mean, but you gotta look at it. Everybody left. Drew left, came back.
True. He went to Impact. You know who's going to be the next big guy?
Zack Ryder.
And hopefully that they don't ruin his tag team career. Martel Ford. That guy right there can put a rock on his back and he become whatever he want to become.
I agree. He's going to be a talent once he goes solo. I agree with that. It's like you said, it's going to suck. They're going to break the tag team up, and Dawkins is going to get the shit into that.
Yes,
he's going to get the shit into that.
He's going to go back. He's going to go back with Tucker.
Pretty
Who's
much.
Tucker? Who's Tucker? Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? They tried. Like let's go back to Shelton Benjamin. Shelton Benjamin had a chance. He went nowhere. You know what I mean? It's like if you can't talk on a mic, no one is going to believe you. You know what I mean? Veer's going to be a good IC or US belt champ. You know what I mean? They tried to do the same thing with Wade Bird. Wade Bird fizzed out. You know what I mean?
But he can talk on the mic.
Yeah, he can talk on the mic, but he didn't get that commitment with fans. Middle America wrestling is ran by Middle America.
No, because Sheamus had the belt. He can't talk on the fucking mic.
But he's Irish.
What that mean?
He like it's different. It's different.
What is Finn Balor?
You can't compare. Finn Balor got hurt. He had a chance to get the belt. He got hurt. They tried it again. He got hurt again. Only time he doesn't get hurt is when NXT. And even with the run now, the whole situation with old girl, she got hurt. So the whole Judgment Day is on hold. So now they're trying to bring back the feud between Edge and Finn Balor, and everybody keeps trying to destroy it by thinking the Fiend comes back. Let the storyline play. That's the problem. Let the storyline play.
They need to bring back the Fiend. Somebody or the talent on there is depleted. I don't know if you looked at the roster.
Yeah, everybody's hurt. Everybody's hurt. When they try to push Ezekiel or Elias again, the people fought push back on him and didn't go anywhere. It's just like, what are we doing here? And that's what the problem is. You have certain people in the main event, and you have certain people who can't be main event. And when you look at it, that's what happens. So you have to go to the Old Faithfuls.
Shouldn't have to though. You could build 4 or 5 people. You could build 4 or 5 people. You good.
They build 4 or 5 people. Everybody hurt.
You should have backups to the backup.
The backups to the backups. A good main event is empowered by a good mid card. The problem with WWE is they top heavy.
How? They got 5 people to get the same belt all the time.
Exactly. They don't have me saying that they top heavy goes to the point where it's only certain people that can run the company. Every era is only 5 wrestlers that run the company. Everybody else is just mid card. Think about it.
No.
Think about it.
You have it's gonna be like that. It's not gonna be.
You have look at boxing. Actually, I don't know this current age of boxing, but the whole idea is that you have certain people that's main event, that main attractions, and then you have mid card. The mid card sucks.
Say UFC.
I don't follow UFC, but not as much as I did a couple years ago. A couple years ago, I was big in UFC. After I seen the whole thing with Silva breaking his leg, I got kind of like, ooh.
Best matchup.
Best match ever. He kept playing around, and then you got Kato. Well, that wasn't cool. Like KO, he's hurt. Like this summer is year of injuries. That's what it is, and they need a main event person to be like, hey.
If you was feeding us a little bit here, a little bit there, injury shouldn't matter. And again, like we talked about off air, example AEW. You got Punk hurt, Brian hurt, and a couple other major players hurt. Omega still hurt. Some other players, some major players. Where you get backfill at. You got a lot of talent. You got
like
Miro. You got Miro.
No.
You got Andrade.
No.
No, Miro. Miro's you can't see Miro as the heavyweight champion?
No.
You gotta be shitting me. What?
No, not at all. I was never a fan of Miro.
What?
Even with he didn't get over he wasn't one in over in Judgment Day. It was the other guy who kept saying Russo Day. Miro wasn't a guy. He needed to keep his girl on leash.
Shit, Miro was a talent.
I'm not saying again. They're good mid cards. They're great mid cards. They will be great with it. They'll be great with a mid card belt. But you're not going to say, hey, if you take somebody who doesn't watch wrestling and put them in a room and Roman Reigns walk in, I'm watching that guy. That's what a main eventer is.
But again, forced on us.
It's not
that's
forced
why,
on us. Brock,
that's why.
The whole thing with Brock. When you turn the TV on, you got to have a guy that's going to make somebody stop what they're doing and sit down. Certain people, you don't got that.
As big as he is, he come in the room. I'm stopping. What the hell? Who the hell is
this? And that's the point.
I'm not talking about Brock. I'm talking about Miro.
No, you're not going to stop. Miro is not.
Would you stop for the Big Show? Big Show walk into the room. You're not being a wrestler. You gonna stop.
He was a world champion. He was a main eventer, but also he was never. He was okay. Big Show, great example. Big Show was forced because his original run in WCW, everybody thought he was Andre's Giant's son. Right. That's how he was forced. He was greener than the goddamn Jay Cargill. And they had to work with him to make him where it is. Hell, he was still green in WWE when he first got there. It was Undertaker and the rest of them pulled to the side like, yo, chill out. Let me show you how to work. The wrestlers nowadays don't know how. Actually, not all of them. There's a majority of them that don't work. All they do is they only want to get their spots.
So what you're saying is that it takes a little bit of time, and then the Big Show became great, right?
Exactly. That's what the whole thing with Austin Theory.
Take a little bit of time with
Austin Cargill. Give Austin Theory his time, and he will get better. It's not his wrestling. Like no one can ever tell me it was his wrestling skills that make people not like him. The first thing you say is, "Hey, it's other people that should be in the spot." That's not the point of the conversation. What's about him that you don't like?
So the same thing can be said about Jay Cargill, right?
Listen, they are putting everybody around her. Listen. They are putting everybody around her to make her better. And I can't deny what they're doing with her. But on the same factor, they need to put more time with her so she don't hurt nobody. She's gonna hurt the girl. And now, like, you did see it. So one of the clips with in AEW, they talk about sandbagging. They was doing a wink about sandbag. Like, Thunder Rosa has been around the world twice, being a great, amazing wrestler. You know what I mean? Baby DNA should not be one of the ones that's talking about we're going to make fun of her. You don't have the caliber. You're not that person to do it. You got baby DNA in your mouth. You need to sit your ass down.
All right. I'm not gonna talk about that. We can't talk about this. Hold on.
But no, we like if you look at the outcome. Are we talking about AEW? We still talking about WWE? Who's gonna be the next person?
We can go on to NXT. Talk about this match between Mandy Rose and Nikita Lyons.
Listen, Mandy's coming back. Fatal Attraction is coming to the main roster. You can't deny that. Nikita's going to get the belt.
And that's a good thing?
Yeah.
It's too early.
How's it too early? You literally said them yams are established.
No.
You literally said that's why it's going to be that's why the WWE everything's going to PG 14. Everything's going to 14. Because them guys need ratings going up.
Not established enough.
What are you talking about? She was actually in the Indies. She wrestled more than Mandy Rose.
She's gonna be a sorry ass champion. Period. She's great to look at. Great to look at. But a sorry ass champion.
Listen? Are you talking about her working? She's a good worker. If you look at her when she was in Women's of Wrestling as a lioness, she was an amazing worker.
Okay. I hear you.
She was in Shimmer. She was an amazing worker. And she's young. She's under 30. She'll be the next person to take the division to the next level.
No. Look, she's probably gonna get the belt. They're gonna. Fatal Attraction gonna move up.
Who do you see in NXT that's going you want to give the belt? You want Mandy Rose to keep the belt? She's coming back to WWE. She's coming back to the main roster. She did her job. Her job down there to elevate the women wrestlers to a higher level. She did her job. Now she needs to school up to the main roster because they need it. Everybody's injured. Fatal Attraction will be amazing stable on SmackDown or Raw. Hopefully they don't break them up as they break everybody else up. And I don't have no faith in them, but we're not going to talk about that.
We got a ton of women ton of women talent on WWE. Hey, look, God bless them if that's what's gonna happen.
I mean, you just gotta give them a chance to do what they gotta do, and I'm sure if the wrestling people have an open mind and actually watch it, other than saying bad things, they want to enjoy it. And there's nothing wrong with Nikki. Her roundhouse kick is she got a better roundhouse kick than Black. Mark my words. Huh?
Bullshit.
She does. She does amazing roundhouse kick. Black roundhouse kick, he pulls up. Nikki don't pull up. Nikki tried to knock your head off.
Because she can't get her leg up that fucking high.
She can. She can. The lioness is amazing. Shout out to Leo's. There's nothing else on NXT I want to talk about.
On to Dynamite. With Orange Cassidy go against Wardlow. All
right, let's put a pin in that. That was the worst booked situation that I've ever seen.
Why you say that?
There's no winning in that situation. You made Wardlow. You're supposed to build Wardlow up to be a monster.
Right.
A complete monster. You didn't protect his finish at all. You're supposed to feed people to Wardlow. Not like you got two of your top faces facing each other with no payoff. Payoff with two faces facing each other is a title or a turn. They didn't need it.
Somebody could have interfered. They should have had an interference.
Nothing like if you look at it, it's like, all right, so Wardlow is you building him up to be your next monster, and then you put him wrestling the guy. And I'm sitting back like, what's the payoff? What's the reason for these two guys? When he hit him with his finisher and he jumped up, I was like, you killed his momentum. Just like that. You need to protect finishes.
Okay.
That's what the problem is. You need to finish it. Either Orange Cassidy's going to go down or Cassidy's going to go up. And you're going to sacrifice your other face of the company. They did a whole big thing about him winning the belt and then have him lose. Not lose. I mean, just have him look like a mockery because you got to protect his finish. I don't understand why you don't protect the finish. Protect the finish.
Okay, so this is really a wall. I can't take it down. So the fourth wall was broken down with Christian Cage and Matt Hardy this past week.
What's up, brother?
Welcome, Will, to the show.
Sorry, I was in a crowded area. Still a little noisy in here, so I'm probably going to mute myself for the most part. But
where you at?
I wanted to pop in real quick. I'm pretty sure I missed a lot. I did happen to catch y'all talking about Cesaro. So, and if I know any better, I know the conversation about whether he's going to be whether he's can be classified as a big star or not. So, yeah, I know you two very well. I know you two well enough anyway. So, yeah. So if I miss anything, because I muted myself and I'm in the midst of something, I'm still out, still like I'm still out for the most part. So
comment. Comment. You don't have your headphones?
Huh?
You got your headphones?
No, I don't have the headphones on me. I ain't bringing them.
So comment on the Cesaro championship.
All right, so whether he can be a main star or not, it is an interesting question though. I can't really say because I'm always thinking he could be a main eventer as someone who can carry the company. I can't say, but a potential main eventer, I could see that. I just can't really say Cesaro can be someone that can carry the company, be the face of the company. He can be in the top. He can be like in some of the top views, but I don't know about carrying the company for the most part.
Okay.
So I'm gonna mute myself again. So I'll come back when I can.
All right, bro.
The fourth wall was broken down, like broken down.
I didn't like that. I didn't like that.
Wow.
I didn't like that. I didn't like that at all. I'm on a phase of saying I hated it. I didn't like it at all.
What
I didn't like it at all.
Because it was real?
No, not because it was real.
Totally fucking suck. You need somebody else, and your brother's a drug addict.
Listen, there's a difference between being real and being stop that.
Being a dick.
It's being cringy.
Wow.
And this talk about for me. Nothing is off limits for me.
Now
nothing.
Now you got a heart.
Nothing.
Okay.
Nothing. It's not. It's business. It's not the fact that I have a heart. It's business. And as I watched, it's like this. There's a reason that TKOs matter. If you knock somebody out, they're good. If you keep pounding on them, eventually what you want to do is you can't keep doing it.
So is it Christian's fault that Matt Hardy had shit going on in his family? Is that his fault? Or is this real?
It's the punishment is listen. I get what he wants to do with that type of part thing, but eventually the fans are going to turn off the TV.
No, I'm going to keep watching. That shit was great. Stop bringing your family, your kids, and your farm and all that other shit into it. You suck. You need help. Period.
But again, what's the payoff?
I'm going to keep watching.
So is the payoff?
I like Luchasaurus now.
What? You like Luchasaurus?
Yes,
really?
I like. It's like, remember a couple of years ago? I think it was 2-3 years ago when we found out about Black Goku. Shit was great. It's a Black Goku. This motherfucker might be hard as shit. I mean, he blind and sucking, but I'm like Black Luchasaurus now. You know what I mean? Works for me. Christian got me, there, and I'm like, before, fuck Luchasaurus. That motherfucker sucked. Now, I'm all about Black Luchasaurus, y'all. See, you put black in front of anything, makes it better.
No.
Disagree with that one. Go ahead. I dare you. Go ahead.
Listen.
Mm-hmm.
Luchasaurus, if he would have took the mask off and was like, I'm a man, damn it. But with the current,
you got some mask, yo. Come on.
With the current product, I want to see what the payoff is. I need to see what the payoff is. Because right now, I don't see one.
Ain't gonna be in here. Top here. Bet you go for a belt.
What belt?
The 10.
Against Warlow?
That's it. There you go.
No.
You can go against you can go against Pop.
No. That ain't gonna happen. Pop, the whole purpose of the All Atlantic belt is
the dumbest fucking belt ever.
To travel around the world defending the belt. If they keep defending it here, there's no point of the belt. The Mid-Atlantic belt should be for whatever they should call it the Middle Passage belt and give it to like Africans.
That ain't what happened.
And you're not gonna talk about the whole slave joke? No? Okay.
I mean, I see what he did there.
We need a laugh in the audience. Huh?
You just see the laugh. Oh.
Laugh track.
Wait till I get my setup back.
But no, overall, it's like, if y'all like it, I love it. But for me, it was too cringy.
That shit was fucking fantastic.
It's like when you're doing the Dirty Dozens and somebody get that shit like that's just too real. Like, yo, why are you talking about this to my dead grandmother? Like,
she shouldn't be dead. We had Claudio. I cannot pronounce this dude's name. Cesaro, the guy honestly fully known as Cesaro, go up against Jake Hager. I guess this is the match that we never got back in WWE.
Next,
why was so important?
We the people.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We the people.
What else?
But again, I noticed it one more. when a former WWE person wrestles someone from AEW, the match is slow. But when they fight somebody in the AEW, WWE, the match is fast. So, what did you
do? What else we have? That was Tuesday? Sure. We had a triple tag team match. A three-way dance for the tag team
Tony
champions.
Khan is finally going to get his NAACP card, and he's going to get the NAACP award this year because he finally awarded his first black tag team champion.
So two black tag teams in this match. We had Swerve and Keith Lee against the goddamn.
It doesn't matter. So
against
all right. So
Ricky Starks and hold on, Ricky Starks and Powerhouse Hobbs versus the Young Bucks, and Swerve and Keith Lee won the tag team championships this past Wednesday.
They won the tag team championships off of the guy who wasn't legal in the match. So they had to send out a news pressing saying that whoever won, the judge, the referee decision is final, even though it shouldn't have been. And you can't tell me that wasn't a knock at WWE. That's the only that I mean, other than me calling them incompetent, if they did it on purpose, that would go directly towards what happened with the Usos and Street Profits. But I'll say this: Matt Jackson was the legal person in the match. Matt Jackson never was pinned. And the story behind this match is they didn't want to lose the belts to FTR. So they dropped the belts to somebody else so FTR can get the belt. So the storyline, or what the rumors are, FTR is going to lose the belts to the Briscoes, and then they're going to come back to AEW and get the belts back. That's how they're going to get the heat back.
So
that's what the rumors are.
How is that going to play? Because the higher ups don't want the Briscoes
on AEW. It doesn't care about ROH.
It's the same company.
It doesn't matter. They can wrestle on ROH. They can wrestle on TBS.
It's the dumbest shit ever.
Hell, it's AEW.
You want to have that cross promotion? That's the dumbest shit ever.
No, I mean, again, they don't want to have the cross promotion anyway.
How you gonna get fans to watch the shit to make the money back?
They don't have a TV deal anyway, so it doesn't matter.
So how you gonna get a TV deal? You get that cross promotion.
Again, Tony Khan didn't think that deep.
Yeah.
Everybody getting free paychecks. Except for the old ROH people. Because apparently none of them got signed. I mean, not none of them, but majority of them get signed back. That's why Josh Woods, Woods had to drop the belt to that slap fake Asian.
Wow.
That's called a Filipino.
Huh?
That's called him Filipino. He's Filipino.
Wow.
Yeah. Man, he was real.
Where do I put it?
And on top of that, I'm happy. Shout out to Swerve. I was always a big fan of Swerve. I'm not a fan of Keith Lee, but I'm a huge fan of Swerve. So I'm happy that he got the belt. Shout out to Swerve. He got the raw dick deal out the whole damn Hit Row getting fired. Because he was actually an amazing wrestler.
Not too much going on SmackDown. Find out Jeff Jarrett's going to be there.
Nothing went on SmackDown.
Special guest referee.
We can legit not talk about SmackDown because it was horrible.
Hold on. Jeff Jarrett, the only thing special, Jeff Jarrett was named special guest referee for for SummerSlam.
Mm-hmm.
Really fucking up the Lacey Evans storyline.
They need to make her a full racist.
That's not going to happen. That you don't want that.
They need to. They need her to make an alt-right racist and just call it a day. I don't understand why they're not pulling the button or pushing the button. Just push the button. Make her a card-carrying Republican. She hate everybody except for the white race. Call it a day.
Yeah,
Or they
probably
could
not a
do
good thing.
is, or not even it's 30 week. Racism is fun.
Well,
What they should do
playing a
is
character.
what they should do is make her all American, but in her mind, she like Homelander. Make her spoilers. Make her feel like she's the good guy. But even though when Kurt Angle first run, he didn't know he was a heel until it was too late. Okay. But they're not gonna drop the belt. Then Liv Morgan not gonna drop the belt. So, I mean, that's a nightmare within itself. It was cute, but now it's like, huh?
Look, she's a reserve champion. I support her. I support Liv Morgan.
I supported her when she was incompetent. Now that she's the champion, it's like, huh?
I think
that's who people should be mad at. Everybody get mad at Austin Theory being forced down the throat. Liv Morgan got forced down the throat.
They did not force Liv Morgan.
They have. How many championships ability did she get? How many times did she fail and they kept putting in the damn championship?
She earned them.
Oh, okay. So she earned them, but Austin Theory didn't earn them. You can't have it both ways. You know why?
Austin Theory got on the show. No, yeah, that's true. Austin Theory got on the show a year ago, less than a year ago. He started in February.
Liv Morgan has been a failure her whole life. And what? Just this moment.
What?
She was the weakest one in the Riot Squad.
Wow. Was she?
Yes.
But she's the sole survivor.
You had Werewolf Heath Bitch, and then you had Riri Rotten, and then you had her. Wow. And she couldn't do the Harley Quinn thing because the other blonde chick was doing it. So it's like, how you gonna have two blonde Harley Quinns?
She's the only survivor of that group. You know what I mean? She earned it. She's been in the trenches. You know what I mean?
That's what you want to call it.
You can't take that away from her.
So hold on. So you saying Austin Theory didn't earn it, and he's Hispanic?
Who was he? Oh, now we throw the race card out there. I never threw the race card. I never say nothing about his race. You didn't know he was Hispanic.
Oh, you didn't know he was Hispanic?
Well, no, I honestly didn't know he was Hispanic.
He knows how to make burritos.
Wow, that's racist. Wow.
It's not racist, it's true.
He might not like burritos. Who knows?
Burritos are delicious.
Jesus Christ.
Name one person don't like burritos. Their things are delicious.
But no, she earned it over a course of years. She earned it. She's been in some tough matches, good matches, and then she got a title shot. She won it. She beat Ronda.
And now we're gonna see what happens afterwards. You know, we're gonna see what happens. That's the biggest thing. We're gonna see what's gonna happen because we never know. We never know.
What else happened?
I mean, for the most part, for this week, it's been.
We can talk about. Did that happen this week? That was last week. No, this is this week.
What?
On the Firefight 2, Night 2, Firefest Night 2. We had Jonathan Gresham go against Lee Moriarty.
I don't understand. Again, this is a very passionate moment for me because anything ROH, it gets personal. Josh Gresham turning his back and breaking the code of honor doesn't make any sense. His whole stick is the code of honor. So why would he break the code of honor and turn his back on his tag team person? It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense at all.
Who would you rather have as the face of your company? A face or a heel?
Personally, I would have a to start up the new company, it'll be better if it's a face.
Why? It's not a new company though. It's an established company with an established champion.
It's a restart. It's a complete restart. What I would do is I would have an established face because the money's in chase. The money's always in the chase. So even if you have so for me, I would have a face of the company. Somebody gonna say when you turn the TV on, you'll be like, "Oh, that's the ROH champion." Again, when they purchased the company, they never had that person. The person who should have did it, they never pushed him to the point of saying that he's the best technical wrestler in the world. They never said that. He should have been pushed down as the best technical wrestler. Every match that he wins should be a submission match. I shouldn't have to go to Terminus to realize an amazing wrestler that he is. The foundation should be the going force of ROH going forward.
You know, it's no more, right? The foundation is gone. It's falling apart.
Foundation is
Empire
technically
is
the
dead.
foundation.
Dead.
Well, if you look at his new T-shirt, it says foundation. And again, that doesn't make any sense. If he's the leader of his own faction, then why would you put him with Tully Blanchard and cheat? That doesn't make any sense. If anything, they should get that big well, who's the guy who just demised, who beat up Samoa Joe? Let's call him the Great Khali. The Great Khali, the new Great Khali should be the person.
Wow, not the Great Khali 2.0.
Yes. The basketball player. That's who should be the face of ROH. Joe should be the face of ROH. Jay Lethal should be the face of ROH. Somebody who has name recognition should be the face of ROH with this new branding situation. When NWA came out, they had Nick Aldis. So they need to have an all-star caliber wrestler. Josh Gresham is an amazing talent. He can do it. But they haven't built him up to be an amazing talent. Hell, I would make Malachi Black the face of ROH. They're not doing that with AEW. Hell, Miro could be the face of ROH.
I said that.
No, you said the AEW.
Same thing.
He's a great internet. Hell, Matt, what's that? Zack Ryder, since he's on the internet, can be the face of ROH because he's always on the internet. And he don't got a TV deal either.
Zack Ryder is the best talent going right now. Let's not forget that.
He's not going anywhere.
All right, what are you guys on about now?
Talking about Zack Ryder and how he's the best.
Black Friday.
We're talking about what he's talking about is if you would restart ROH, who would you design the show around, the company around?
Oh, okay.
Because we're talking about the whole situation with the whole thing with Dynamite, him turning on the other guy,
Lee Moriarty.
Yeah. And I'm like, and my argument is that doesn't make any sense. For somebody who lives and died by the code of honor, he wouldn't do that. It doesn't make any sense. If that's the case, he would have did it in Impact when Honor No More did it. But he stood on his ground and said he wasn't going to do it.
So who would you design the show around? It's funny because if you remember, the foundation was initially a heel group.
Exactly. That's the whole thing. The whole thing is that, but the whole basis was I'm better than you as a wrestler, not that I cheat to win.
Did he cheat to win? I didn't watch the entire match Friday.
No. So what happened was during the match, he jumped out and let Lee Moriarty get beat up by what's Tully Branch's group called?
Gates of Agony.
Right. So Gates of Agony beat him up, and that turned into what's next for ROH. So they turned a lot of things on dark as storylines for the ROH.
Okay. So if you're going to do something like that, so the idea of someone being better than you isn't necessarily as a heel, isn't necessarily bad, but even funnier. But even then, even those type of people have goons that jump the person they go after. Because Daniel Bryan was Daniel Bryan had something similar with his The Planet's Champion heel gimmick.
Exactly.
And he had Eric Rowan. So it's not impossible for it to happen. Granted, what you need is someone face-wise to be put on that level.
Exactly. And that's where my problem is. If anything should have happened was he should be feuding with BCC.
What?
He should be feuding with BCC. He should be feuding with someone, and that's why it makes sense. Him and Cesario going back and forth.
Yeah, when Claudia came out.
Right. That's why it makes sense for them to wrestling.
Yeah, because I think it's gonna be like his first real feud.
Yes, and that's what I'm saying. Like, you didn't have to do what you did for this feud to happen. When actually, the way I would have booked it, if Josh Gresham should have faced Will Ospreay, you know what I mean? Like, I would have rolled all the way back then and had him wrestle him, and then turn that into I'm the best wrestler I'm the best wrestler in this company, yada 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 yada. That's what his character is. What
I think should have happened. Okay, so I'm gonna take that and I'm gonna raise you. What I think should have happened is after Claudio's match against Zack Sabre Jr., Gresham should have came out.
Exactly. That would have been booking. That would have been long-term booking for the spinoff feud at ROH.
Now, I know I overheard you mention Malachi Black. What was that all about?
I said that Malachi Black and the Black, King of Black Throne, the
House of Black.
Yeah, the House of Black. They should be. I would build ROH around them. I will put them in ROH. And I also said Nikki Lyons had the better roundhouse kick.
That's actually House of Black. Yeah.
You agree with that?
I can see House of Black being the initial stable for Ring of Honor.
No. Not that. I'm talking about the roundhouse kick.
The roundhouse kick, what?
He said Nikki Lyons has a better roundhouse kick than Malachi Black.
I didn't hear that part.
I know.
So you asked me if I agree with Nikita Lyons having a better roundhouse kick than Malachi Black?
Mm-hmm.
I already know why Buddy said that.
It ain't real.
I'm not even going to entertain that subject. I already know why Buddy said that. So I'm not even going to entertain it.
He said that shit with conviction too.
I believe it. Mm. I've seen him. Listen, she is an amazing wrestler, and her roundhouse kick is flawless.
She fucking sucks.
A roundhouse kick is good, buddy. I'm pretty sure part of the reason you're saying that is because you want to see it turn around when you do it.
Yeah.
Called it.
Yeah.
So like I said, I'm not even going to entertain the thought process.
Me and my business, I understand that I have to support her because before everyone else turned their backs on her, like they did Austin Theory.
Okay, so I'm assuming y'all already talked about Cora Jade turning on Roxanne Perez.
Oh, we didn't talk about that.
Was that NXT?
That was NXT.
Yeah.
We didn't talk about that. We didn't talk about that because that was stupid.
So basically, so what they did with Cora and Roxanne is basically a repeat of what they did with Dean and Steph.
Yes. Verbatim.
Yeah.
Verbatim. That's why I wasn't talking about it because it doesn't make any sense of what they want to do. And I can honestly see that it's not going to matter in a month.
When Toxic lost the tag titles, I was like, okay, that's cool. But when Cora turned on Roxanne, I was like, what is the point of this? Especially when unlike the whole Dean and Steph thing, there was no hint of dissension.
Exactly. They just tossed the stuff at the wall. It was like they just need a storyline to show that something needs to happen with those two belts.
Yeah. Well, on the flip side, at least they get more television time than the actual women's tag team titles.
I mean, they're about to be defunct anyway. So I wasn't even gonna bring anything up, but the way that she slung that, it's like
skateboard.
I'm sitting back like, I don't blame her. I blame the props guy. That's what I blame. It's just like you cut it too deep. You know what I mean? If you're really going to earn it. Earn a hit. You know, like when she flung it back, I'm like, oh, that wasn't really attached. Just the way she was carrying it, like you don't really ride a skateboard. like something was up with that skateboard.
Yeah.
And I was just like, and she tried her best to hit her with it. I was like, oh.
He said, oh.
Like, oh, sit down, Tink Tink. I don't give them, I don't put too much attention to, I look at more mechanics on NXT than what their storylines are. Like, I need to see your mechanics as a wrestler. Certain wrestlers, when I look at them, I'm like, oh, you way too green for me to care about you.
Actually, that was somebody said something about that too. I forgot who said it, but it was I came across this story today where was it Bully Ray or was it somebody else? I believe I don't remember, but somebody mentioned one of their problems with NXT right now. And they mentioned the fact that presentation wise is unique, but once they get into the ring, they kind of do the same thing.
Yeah, I mean, you can tell that the same person is teaching them all how to wrestle. And that's one of the problems with this generation NXT and the ones before. Before, they had multi-coaches teaching them what they need to do, different mannerism in the ring. Now it's legit like, the wrestler.
Yeah. Like it's funny because it's funny you say that because when you was calling AEW creative wrestler the creative wrestler in real life, that's literally NXT 2.0 right now.
Mm-hmm. So next time Nick Khan does all his budget cuts, then they all pop up on AEW. It's like that finishing school. That's what Zack Ryder said.
Wait a minute. Why are we talking about the greatest champion of all?
Fuck Zack Ryder.
Why are we hitting on Zack Ryder?
He's not the greatest champion of all, but we're not going to. But yeah. Like
let's think back to it. Hold on, wait. Let's think back to it. I mean, has all great champions come through the NWA, correct? Ric Flair, Harley Race, well, just to name a few. I mean,
Bruno Sammartino didn't do it.
Nick Aldis.
And who is he?
Wow.
Just disrespect the Godfather of wrestling.
Is he? What? So Bruno Sammartino, was he just in WWE?
I don't think. I'm pretty sure Bruno Sammartino did other stuff besides WWF.
Yes, he did territories. You disrespectful fuck. Yes.
Did he ever hold the NWA championship?
No, he did not.
Okay.
He did not because
what's the most prestigious championship in the world?
Do I need to bring out Durham? Do I need to bring out Durham?
Just answer one question for me. What's the most prestigious championship in the world?
The most prestigious championship in the world doesn't even exist anymore.
What was it?
The WWF Championship.
Okay. So
that shot out from the NWA belt.
Oh, did it? Oh,
yes, it did.
Okay. So
I dislike you.
I'm just asking. Just
really?
Barry Windham,
really?
The great Muda.
Barry Windham didn't have the NWA belt.
He did carry the NWA belt. February the 21st, 1993, at Super Bowl number 3. He was the champion.
I like how he's only looking up the NWA belt history because of Zack Ryder. I find it hilarious.
And he has never watched Power. He has never watched. Oh, let me restate that. He never watched non-50 Cent Power.
Sorry, Funk had it. Buddy Rogers, Howie Race, Kerry Von Erich. That's just the name.
Oh no, I don't know that.
Really, this is what we're doing.
Ron Killings, AJ, Jeff Jarrett.
Oh, Ron Killings got the belt, huh?
Rhino, Sting.
So So Jamal.
Yes.
Let me ask you a very important question.
Cole Cabana, go ahead.
If Zack Ryder never held the NWA World Championship, would you have cared about it?
Well, see, yes. Even though Zack Ryder never, Matt Cardona has had the belt. Yes. I've always cared.
If Matt Cardona, well, Zack Ryder is still technically Matt Cardona, but my question still stands. If Matt Cardona never held the belt, would you have cared about it?
I always cared about the NWA belt. That's
really
the roots of the.
Go ahead. Do it while you choke on a cake.
I'm eating cake right now. I mean, that's where the roots of all wrestling came from. You know what I mean? NWA. You know what I mean? It's okay.
Hey, buddy, there's a lot of things going on right now.
For what?
Listen. I'm trying not to cuss to this podcast. I'm trying not to cuss. We've been keeping it clean this whole time. But fuck you, Jamal.
Haters gonna hate. Haters gonna hate.
No one's talking
Sabu
about hating.
even held the belt for 38
No one's
days.
talking about hating. No one's talking about hating. I'm just saying it's kind of funny that you're bringing up the history. It's funny that you're bringing up the history of the NWA World Championship when prior to Matt Cardona winning, you didn't really care much about the championship.
I mean, he only had it for 119 days. Only. Dusty Rhodes didn't even have it for 119 days.
You're the reason why people
his
shouldn't
3
have Google.
championship, he only had it for 107.
You're the reason why people shouldn't have Google. This is the reason why this podcast go off the rails.
This is
every time.
Jesus, this is bad. I mean, who's this guy? No, Billy Watson had it for 239 days. But anyway, we all know that.
So speculations is Bailey's coming back SummerSlam. Y'all think she's really coming back, or she's going to still be out with
okay,
Sasha?
So there was speculation that she's coming back at SummerSlam, and Bailey teased coming back for the NXT Battle Royale. I don't see the Battle Royale happening, but I do see her coming back at SummerSlam. Although it would be,
That's all that noise. What's your thought on what Christian Cage did to Matt Hardy? Since you're Hardy's boyfriend.
Wasn't that from last week? That was from last week.
No, that was this week. He did more stuff.
Oh no, this week he was talking about Brian Pillman Jr.
Same person. Who cares about him too?
What?
Christian Cage is doing excellent right now.
Christian Cage is on the brink of going to that point where it's non-watchable.
Why do you say that?
Because there's a line in the sand with this era of wrestling fans.
I got you. What happens every day with water and sand? Shit gets erased. We keep it moving, right? All right, there we go. So Christian is doing fantastic with his promos, and I believe in Black Luchasaurus. I do.
All right. The whole Christian Cage thing. Now, when he was on that whole thing on Hardy last week, I was thinking like, wait a minute, there's a level of disrespect. That's a level of disrespect I expect from WWE, not you.
What happens when you get somebody that can talk on a mic? That's what happens. That's what the WWE should be doing, letting them talk. If you win, especially NXT, especially NXT, if you NXT, you should be having a live mic. I give you 2 bullet points, maybe 3, and you roll with the shit. And you learn how to talk. Learn how to come up with your own shit. Me giving you scripts and you forgetting the shit sucks. It's not productive.
Oh, running the show without a script is not productive, huh?
No. Look, y'all go on and fight. You got these bullet points, make it happen. Do I have stars? I'm gonna start watching.
Talk about this show, you bastard.
Huh?
Talk about this show, you bastard. Because
I make notes and then y'all didn't read them, so I got tired of making notes. So now I just come out the fly with my own shit.
Wait a minute, I was actually reading the notes. We just never followed through them at the time.
Oh, okay.
Including yourself, Jamal.
Fuck your notes.
I'll put in my notes. Wait till 2 weeks from now. I have a lot of time. Yeah, we're gonna have notes.
So basically, Jamal, you early season 1, especially early season 1, was WWE current product product now. Season 2 is what is Impact AEW, yeah. As far as how show's running.
Okay. Give it 2 weeks. Watch how this shit changes. Fucking pyro everywhere. Watch. Fucking beep everything.
Are we gonna get special effects in?
Special effects. I'm beeping shit out. All that stuff.
So another thing is Goldberg went on a record. Goldberg went on a record saying that it wasn't his idea that he went over the Fiend. He's blaming Vince. He's saying that Vince. He's pretty much saying that the Fiend. It wasn't his idea to go over. It was. He said he goes to work and do whatever the booker says. I don't believe him, but that's what he said in the article.
Right. Okay. I mean, it is what. I mean, Goldberg's going to do it. I don't know. I can't say I would believe him. I can't say I don't believe him, but I don't know.
Because he made a comment during that time period saying that he feels like he's some type of superhero, so when he comes back, he should always go over because people cheer for him more than everyone else. I believe it was an article back then when it happened. I'm sure.
I mean that kind of mindset is how we got John Cena winning damn near every match he had.
But that was a build up to. I mean, even during that time period, I didn't like it. And I don't like it now. But if you have a reason for it, then I'm for it. If you don't have a reason for it, then it's like, why are we doing this?
So, question. That's a good question. Who is Roman Reigns? Who will be Roman Reigns' next opponent? And because I came across something that asked a question earlier. Can Theory be a megastar?
We talked about it a little bit earlier. No, fuck Austin Theory.
Wow, you said that with conviction. Who will be Roman Reigns is not going to drop the belt until WrestleMania because they're building up to this whole Castle event in Europe in the fall, so he's not going to lose it until then. It's going to be after that. So it has to be, I would say, Elimination Chamber or day one. But they was like, why would you do that one? Why would not just do doing it per injury? I wish if Cody Rhodes wasn't hurt, I would say the next person that's going to do it is going to Brock. He's going to beat Brock. He's going to beat Brock. He's going to beat Drew. And the only person I can see take the belt from him is going to be
realistically, it could be Cody when he comes back.
It's Cody when he comes back. No one else is a box star, a box office star. I can see them splitting the belts back up. Either they'll split the belts or they'll make them one belt. But for the most part, I can see them losing one of the belts.
All right, so let's ask this question: Do you see Theory having a successful cash?
No. I don't know how it's going to happen. I don't see him getting it.
Okay. All right. So I had to ask that question because that question popped up like last night while after I got home, I was watching some stuff on YouTube. So that I had to ask that question.
Yeah. So, I don't see only way that it would happen. I think I've read somewhere. It was like if I would book it, it would be some real shenanigans going on. It would be like a last man standing or like something like that to make both of them obsolete for him to be like whoever I want.
Right. So the other thing another thing that popped up earlier, well not earlier, while I was out, is apparently some of the women on the roster, WWE roster, was a little disappointed at their current booking at the moment.
Yeah, I've seen that.
So how do we feel about that?
I don't.
Since let's be honest and fair, nothing really special happened on SmackDown.
Nothing. I don't know what's going on.
The only thing we got from The only thing we got from SmackDown is Jeff Jarrett's gonna be the special guest enforcer or referee.
And I don't get that. I don't understand that. I don't understand the whole point of him being in there. I don't know what's going on with SmackDown, but it turned to shit.
But yeah, yeah, about the women, about some of the women being upset at their current booking. Well, not at the booking at the time, because there's a reason why Charlotte took time off because to get married,
right,
and whatnot.
And Charlotte stepping back exposed the women's division drastically. It exposed it. It's like, all right, now all of y'all got mad at me for being a number one spot. Now what you gonna do?
Well, and the funny part about it is, like, we talked about the main women on the roster was the four host women and to an extent Asuka.
Mm-hmm.
But most of the four host women, two of them are out. Two of them are out. So three out of four are out.
Right.
For three different reasons.
Mm-hmm.
And one right now isn't really doing anything at the moment.
Right.
To be fair.
I mean, they build her back up. They can't. What I would do is, I want to see what they're going to do with Liv. Liv Morgan is the test. That's the taster out there to see if the fans are going to turn on non-full host women. They're going to put out there and see what she can do or what the roster do behind her. If animosity builds up towards her and she has to drop the belt, nobody on the roster currently is going to be, nobody on the SmackDown roster currently can hold that belt to make it worthwhile. And I'll give you like everybody else on Raw.
Yeah, because Asuka, Rhea, Bianca, those will be your three big hitters, and they're on Raw.
Mm-hmm.
SmackDown doesn't really have anybody. Raquel's so green. Lacey, I don't know what they're doing. Lacey, and
she could be a champion. She could be right there.
Lacey needs to be built back up to be an ultimate heel. She needs to lean into the Republican side of her.
You and that Republican shit. She needs to
lean into that Georgia, I hate all people, I eat peaches type stuff.
And Shotzi, so the only other person you have is Shotzi, and they're not doing anything with Shotzi at all.
They got a real Christian Alpharetta. Sorry, go ahead.
What? Okay.
Yeah.
Fat man got hungry.
The only other thing they can do, and this goes to another subject, is bring some like Io Shirai or Mandy Rose up to main roster.
That's what I think they're going to do with Toxic Attraction. I think SmackDown will be taken over by Toxic Attraction.
I can see that.
All three of them are going to come up and they're going to take over SmackDown.
Because like aside from those three, the only other person I can see that may make some form of impact is Io. Because there's work going on that if they give Io a main roster deal, she'll stay with the company.
Right.
And honestly, like, despite Io, like the character Io has in NXT, I could see that kind of being used on the main roster if done properly.
Correct.
Because a character isn't that hard to understand. It's simple. She doesn't like anybody and doesn't like anybody and will just and do whatever she pleases and will team up with someone not mostly out of convenience.
Mm-hmm.
Or if their goals align.
And that's one of the problems that they have. If they had a solid, and this is when my issue with WWE comes in, is the fact that they can create whatever they want to create as long as it's believable. A lot of times it's not believable.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because, again, they look for certain target crowds. So, even with Lacey Evans, I can see Lacey taking the belt from Liv Morgan.
Right.
And running with it until Charlotte comes back.
Yeah, I can see that. But yeah, I don't know because Liv winning was a complete and utter shocker.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a good kind of shocker. Now, like you said, the better question is, can they keep up the momentum?
No, I got a feeling she's gonna be like Dolph Ziggler.
Yeah, because I was like, the one thing with every wrestling company, it's not just WWE, no AEW, it's all wrestling companies. one thing they tend to have a problem with is with certain stars, they get the momentum and then they drop the ball.
Exactly. Like they do it with a storyline. As soon as the storyline over with, they don't know. It's nothing afterwards. It's like, then what? They're like, I don't know. You got the championship now. It's like they do it like a video game. It's like once you get the belt in a video game, then what? You
or
drop
in
it down.
Or in WCase, they do it like Hollywood.
Right.
Since most of their writers are Hollywood. Yeah. But
and that's one of the problems.
I get I can see how because Kevin Nash mentioned about Hangman Page, his title run. He compared it to his own first title run, and he mentioned one of the biggest issues, how his first title defense ended in a draw.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, realistically, that didn't even do much for Hangman Page, which is why I wouldn't have put him against Bryan Danielson in the very first title defense. Put that couple title defenses in, then you can have your draw, but not the very first one.
Correct. And they did him no justice, and that's one of the problems that he had. They gave him no justice. It's like, I don't understand why y'all put him in that situation for him not to succeed, even though I don't like him as a wrestler.
But Liv Morgan right now, her biggest thing at the moment is, aside from Ronda Rousey, who else? Aside from Ronda Rousey, who else she gonna face?
She has no chemistry. She has no chemistry with Natty. She has no chemistry with Natty.
I saw that match on SmackDown. That it didn't look good. It didn't look good at all. So realistically, who could Liv Morgan face?
She needs to drop the Lacey. She needs to drop the Lacey. It's not working.
I mean, because mind you, I want Liv to have a good title run. I do. It's just not only finding good opponents for her.
Mm-hmm.
You guys gotta make a believable storyline.
Exactly.
Like you can have someone like Lacey for them, right? You can have Lacey come out and say something like, you may be champion, but I can take that off of you any day of the week, and making kind of pushing Liv to say, oh, so you think you better me even though I'm champion? Okay, I'm about to sit there and prove you wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Something like that. Or you can sit there and have someone like Shotzi, actually, I don't know what to do with Shotzi. I really don't. Because they realistically kind of dropped the ball with Shotzi as well.
I'll blame Shotzi.
Huh?
I'll blame Shotzi.
You blame Shotzi?
Yeah, because I understand being over emotional to a certain situation, but you need to calm down. People talk smack all the time. Just let it go.
What's funny though is, a video I watched pointed this out, how basically karma came back for her. Because if you recall that spot with Jericho at the first Blood and Guts,
right?
Who's the main person that said something?
Mm-hmm. I remember.
Right. So now TLC pops up, and now she's catching backlash for something. She's catching backlash.
Correct.
It's basically karma at this point.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I was like, I have no empathy for her. None. I have none. It's like, you did this to yourself. Like, you literally did this to yourself.
We all saw the Jericho spot. We all said, it could have been better if the camera angle was, especially camera angle was everything. That was an AEW fault. But Shots didn't have the same. She really didn't.
No.
She could have just left it alone. But she didn't. But yeah, like I said, other than that, Raquel is still okay. I said green, but she's main roster green.
Right.
So you gotta give her a little more time, and on top of that, you need to give her a goddamn character.
And see, that's what, like, there's nobody over there is really developed to the point where like I'm going to do this for this person. Everyone's like, the person's not developed. I'm like, why do I care about it? Like, I don't care. So if I don't care, then you shouldn't care. Right. I mean, to be honest with you, I don't know how they want to do it and they're not going to do it, but Shayna needs to get this damn belt. If she just go in there and just wreck her and call that shit a day.
Dude, ever since they dropped the idea of how Shayna was from her early days in the main roster, then now that they got rid of her music, Shayna has not been the same.
At all.
And that disappoints me.
And she's kissing 42, so it's just like
and like that really disappoints me because Shayna Baszler, NXT and early main roster was a complete and utter bully, and it worked.
She was a monster, right? She was a monster, and they should let her stay a monster, but they didn't.
Yeah, that was the sad part. And then you teamed up with Nia Jax, which kind of, it just didn't work out at all.
Right. You know what I mean? And that's, and then I'm looking at the roster now, it's like the people you would want to have the belt to, and don't get me wrong.
The roster's really weak on, period. The roster's weak on the main roster.
Right.
For women. It sucks. You got majority of women on the NXT roster. And they just need to bring a lot of them up. And then how about not fire the whole fucking team?
Well, okay. So we don't need to bring a lot of them up, just certain ones. Yeah. Bring up Toxic Attraction, perfectly fine. Bring up Io Shirai, perfectly fine. Bring up another new star, Nikita Lyons, be perfectly fine. Let the rest stay on NXT and develop more.
Yes, and that's what the problem is. They need to develop.
I agree with you, except for Nikita Lyons. She sucks.
Jamal. Okay. Jamal. Why do you have Nikita Lyons?
Why not? She can't wrestle. Why? She sucks. She
wasn't. She used to. Okay. How can she not wrestle? Let's start with that. How can she not wrestle?
She can't. Her ability is horrible.
Huh?
Her ability is horrible.
You just a hater.
Okay. Let's be fair. Okay. Nikita is still in the early in like a mid-20s, early in the mid-20s. She can still grow as a performer. Huh?
She's 24?
Yeah. Like I think I would say she's like, I gotta look up again, but I know she's not even 25 yet. Last I checked. I could be wrong though, but last time she wasn't even.
No, she's not 25 yet. She's 24.
Yeah. So she still has room to grow. But on the flip side, she did wrestle on an independent scene for a little bit, and she has some mixed martial arts skills. Like, she's not bad, Jamal. I'm not gonna say she's look, is she the best? No. Can she improve? Yes. Does she suck? Dude, she don't suck. There's people worse than her. Eve Marie was a big example. She's we're not gonna talk about that. Mostly because Aaron not here. But yeah, like, to say Nikita sucks, like, dude, I don't know what you're seeing because I don't see that.
He's the worst wrestler in all of wrestling right now.
I think it's okay. Okay. Now that statement, I'm pretty sure he's saying it just to get on the buddy's skin.
It does. She's 22. They say she's 20. The internet says she's 22, but I thought she was 22.
She is the worst talent in the world. It's not worse than Eva Marie. You know what I mean?
Not better than Jade Cargill.
Bullshit. Jade Cargill's a champion, and she's undefeated. What's your point? I'll wait.
Speaking of which, she passed Goldberg by having a belt for being undefeated for at least 500 days.
Yeah.
And I was
well deserved.
What?
Yep.
Okay, look, I'm not gonna get involved with
name somebody better. I'm gonna take Kane's. Name somebody better than Jade. Nobody. Go ahead. I'll wait.
Female wise?
Name somebody better.
Oscar?
I'm not going there with you.
Who's held the belt the longest?
Oscar?
No. Undefeated?
Former NXT Women's Champion? Oscar? Yes.
And undefeated?
Yes.
Whole career?
Yeah. Look, NXT Oscar dropped the belt because she got moved up to the main roster and she was a little hurt.
That's the only reason why she dropped the belt.
Other than that, NXT Oscar was undefeated. No one beat her.
Mm-hmm. And you can pay extra if you go on her YouTube channel and watch those
damn
videos.
Buddy, damn it.
Horrible videos.
God damn it, buddy, I hate you so much.
When you watched the video, didn't you?
Shut up, buddy. No one asked you.
That's funny.
But yeah, Jamal, I just gave you an example. Someone who was undefeated, held the belt a long time, and
how you feel about what they doing with Thunder Rosa?
Right.
I hate it. But how you think what they doing? Having
Thunder Rosa?
Yeah, having
number 7, CM Punk, 434 days.
All right.
Number 6, the Fabulous Muda, 28 years. Jesus Christ. Goldberg, 173-0 undefeated streaks. Wow. Bruno Sammartino, 2,800 days.
He had all the 70s and 80s. Now he had like all the 60s and 70s.
No, they didn't do. Hold on.
Because no one cares.
Undefeated champion.
No one cares. No one cares about that.
Anyway, buddy, about your thing about Thunder Rosa, you talking about the fact that she's teamed there with Toni Storm?
No, they I'm not sure. I watched both of them back to back, to be honest with you. But Britt Baker, Adam Cole's baby, that sperm mouth bank, she made a comment about the Thunder Rosa sandbagging. She was like, I know what you need to do. She gave her a sandbag.
Oh yeah, that one.
That was so damn cringy.
Yeah,
it was so damn cringy.
I know you're talking about. Yeah, that one was kind of bad. Yeah, I mean, Britt Baker's a decent talker, but that one was kind of bad.
And I don't like how they don't work.
So with Thunder Rosa, the only question I have is, I'm trying to figure out. So with Thunder Rosa, I want to know what's the next storyline, much less who's the next opponent. There's no point in There's no point in putting her against Britt Baker right now, but she needs a good, strong opponent.
They don't have nobody else, and that's what the problem is. I mean, they don't have nobody because everyone like you gotta be real. So many people pay attention to Jade. It's like Jade is the world champion.
That's the only real downside too. That's the only real downside about it too. Which now I'm thinking about it. So hear me out, and you can tell me this is funny. Why hasn't someone like Nyla Rose gone after Jade?
I don't know. It's like they match up with certain people.
Right. So, I mean, while it's not bad that you give the TBS championship some spotlight, it does seem a little. It does kind of suck that it's not even the belt. It's not even the belt. It's the champion. The champion is overshadowing the AEW World Champion. Because I'm pretty sure the TBS champion is on a different person, they wouldn't have overshadowed Thunder Rosa. But
correct.
Is Jade herself? Even if Jade wasn't a champ, hell, Jade before Jade became a champion, she was overshadowing fucking Britt Baker.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not the TBS belt itself; it's Jade herself.
Exactly.
Jade is overshadowing most of the women, if not all the women.
Beast. She's a beast.
Hell, I'm gonna be 100% honest. Jade overshadows all of WE's women.
Because she's a beast.
Huh?
Name somebody better than Jade. You can't.
It's not because it's not the fact that she's better. It's just
her personality wise.
Jade has a personality that WWE would love to have.
Right. Only person I compare her to is Flair.
Yeah. Realistically, yeah. That would be the only person Jade doesn't overshadow.
Because Mike Skills alone, she beats Becky. She beats Bailey. She damn sure beat the other one.
Sasha.
Yeah, that one, the other one. It's like, no, like, not wrestling wise. just
Mike's
matter of
the
fact,
one.
hold on. Yeah, Mike. Only person I see that could go toe to toe with her on a mic is Charlotte and Bianca if she got a little bit of wine in her.
Yeah.
No, because she got like she'll bring out there like every time she try to bring some sass out there, I can see her trying to choke out with her hair.
That's true.
But she's going to say something about that hair. She's going to do the dirty dozens on the hair.
That's true. I do like how every time Tony Schiavone is talking to Jade, that's a common thing now.
They did that. I saw that on the internet where they said Tony cut the shit.
Right.
Hilarious.
Like, she be telling that man cut the shit. I'm like, yo, leave Tony alone. He ain't doing anything to nobody. Like she be disrespecting that man. He only he'll let them talk, won't say a word. And like Jay was like, oh, and Tony, yes, cut the shit. And Tony like, what the fuck did I do? But yeah, like the only Bianca, Charlotte, yeah, they Mike wise, yeah, they could probably they can go toe to toe with Jade. And as far as presence wise, the only person really that Jade can't overshadow would be Charlotte.
Yeah. And she was brought up to have that machismo. Even Lash Legend, I don't see her sass. She will lose because of her lash. You know what I mean? Like just you don't like no. Look at my abs.
Yeah. If you want to talk about someone that's like that's not really showing any improvement. There you go.
Yeah. If not, she's getting worse.
Like if you just say, oh, Jay's bad, oh, that's still worse for her. Ooh, Flash Legend. Oh, never mind.
Right.
And you'd be kind of hard pressed to say otherwise.
God honest truth.
But I don't know. We still got the rest of the year. We still got pay-per-views coming up. I know All Out in September. So and fucking SummerSlam is in a couple weeks.
Yeah. They haven't released any matches yet, but I got a feeling it'll be like the rest of them.
For SummerSlam or All Out?
SummerSlam.
They did.
It's just one. How many matches? I know it's 2 matches, right? The 2 belts.
Yeah. They haven't released any more matches, but yeah, we have 2 matches right now, and they're both title matches.
Right. You got Bloodline versus somebody, and then you have
Bloodline versus Street Profits and Roman versus Brock for the 500th time in a row.
Right. I mean, it's a good match. You can't take it away.
I mean, yeah, it is, but there's such a thing as going to the well one too many times.
Right.
We've seen that. We did that with Cena and Orton.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm still not down with the idea of a unified belt, especially if you're not going to end a brand split. It's kind of a moot point.
Exactly. Because Fox wants their own belt.
So yeah, no. It'd be nice if they split the belts again, but we'll see.
All right, Jamal. Wrap it up.
All right. Well, I want to thank you guys for joining us for another episode of a Good Wrestling Podcast. I am your host. I am Jamal Good, and I want to thank Will for joining us today. Will, thank you.
Yeah, I came late, but I still came. Pause. Follow me at Ray Jazito on Twitter.
God damn it. God.
What?
As soon as you said it, I was like, "Oh, watch this shit." So I came late, but I still came. All right. Yeah. Oh, what the fuck?
Hey, I kept it as PG as possible.
Well, WWE's not going to be past this Monday. Go ahead, buddy. Thank you for joining us today.
Hashtag codename Bobby. I might be on Twitter later on tonight. ROH is coming back later on this month. I'll be live tweeting that event. Follow me at MWC Blues at Twitter. I like debating.
All right. Again, your host, Jamal Gunn. Thank you guys for joining us this week. Stay safe.